Hi, welcome to Table Talk with Friends.
My name is Nakia.
I'm Shawana.
I'm Christine, and we would like to welcome Monique to our show.
Hi, girls.
Hey.
Thanks for having me.
So, Nakia,
Yes.
how was your day today?
It was decent.
What's decent?
I know.
Because with you, decent can be anything.
Decent meaning I had a couple of drinks. And it was decent.
You took a nap.
I did take a nap. No stress.
Naps are good.
Wish I had a nap. Well, you know, my day was like stressful today. Yeah. So that's all.
So you need a drink.
I need 3 drinks.
Well, maybe after we're done.
We make it have 3 more. My day was not stressful, not relaxing, just a day. And God is good, so that's all I'm sticking to. Monique, how was you today?
It was fun. I was at work, and now I'm here with you beautiful ladies, and I'm excited about it.
I'm excited too. So this is our first show of Table Talk, and we're graced with the beautiful Monique Santiago. You may all know her from Facebook as Monique Yencia. She is a legal advocate for African American men and women. So Monique, what exactly is a legal advocate?
Well, what I do is I fight for the freedom and injustice and equality for juvenile lifers, as well as inmates that's been wrongly convicted of murders and that's serving life in prison or on death row. It's very important to me because they do not have a voice.
Great.
I go very, very, very hard once I get off my 9 to 5, and I've studied law since 2008 on my own.
Wow.
Just to assist them to come home. It's tough. It's tough fighting against the system. It's really tough fighting against the system.
So one of the questions I want to ask Ms. Monique is, how do you know someone is wrongly convicted?
Evidence. Evidence, you can see just through the transcripts.
And that comes from someone who knows what they're looking for.
Right. You know, as women are private eyes. So
Yeah.
I hire a woman.
I'm great at investigation. All I need is a full name and a birth date, and I'm on it.
Okay.
I go into dockets. I do my research. Google is my best friend. I actually do the backgrounds of judges. I want to see what's up with this judge. Is he, has he have a history of sentencing people crazy? Who was the prosecutor on this case? And I want to know everybody's background because that ties into the case.
And all of this is information that we can get.
You can get or have a hookup.
Okay.
And I'm grateful for that people gravitate to me and want to assist me on the freedom of some of these young men. Because at the end of the day, it's absolutely crazy that a 13, 12-year-old, 14-year-old, 15-year-old is getting sentenced to life in prison for a non-homicidal crime. No murder, no rape, no nothing, stealing $60, weed. So whatever the case is, it's crazy.
Like Trevion Blunt,
That's my baby.
Jaron Tucker. And I think you were looking into Lenny Smith. What's that?
Lenny Singleton.
Yeah,
his wife. She's
amazing,
wonderful.
pretty much.
She's
yes.
amazing. She's battling stage 4 cancer right now.
And fighting for her husband's
And
freedom.
she's fighting for her husband's freedom. So I'm coming in now to assist on that because we don't know how much time she has, honestly. So I'm going to make sure that I'm going to help to fight for his freedom.
Okay, so, but what about the young juveniles who were like sentenced and they did time for something that was, they did more time than what they should have done. And then they have these records, but then get told that, hey, you know what, if you petition and you do this, you can get your record expunged. I mean, how does something like that, how do the law get to play with people like that?
Because they can make up their own rules. In the Commonwealth states, majority of my cases is in Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
I started there. Travion was my first case here in Virginia. These Commonwealth
Laws.
laws are crazy. They can make up these rules. They can make up things as they go.
Yeah.
The government, the president, whoever needs to get in here in these states and do like they're doing at Ferguson's right now.
Yes.
And do a thorough research and thorough investigation and eliminate what they have to eliminate as far as, firing people and making changes because these kids deserve a second chance. The wrongly convicted deserve a second chance. There's a brother recently, last year, he came home after doing 26 years for a murder he didn't commit.
And then he died 9 months later, right?
Not him.
Oh, okay.
Not him, but and this brother, he's scared to eat. He won't go outside. He has to be in the house before the sun goes down.
Wow.
Because he's scared.
That's something like that will happen to him again.
So what is the just due for someone in that situation? Because, it's just like when we go someplace and the service is wrong or what have you, and the situation is immediately rectified. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, we'll get you something different or we'll take it off your bill. So for someone who's lost 26 years of their life, what is the just due? What do Uncle Sam, what do Commonwealth of Virginia or Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, or wherever it happened, what is the protocol for what happens next?
Well, in my experience, it has to be unity amongst us, people of color.
Yes.
Let's call a spade a spade. We have to be united and on the forefront for that. I can research, I can assist in appeals, in briefs, in everything. And what they're doing is when these inmates are appealing or whatever they're doing, by the time you know it, one appeal can be 2 to 3 years, and they keep pushing stuff back and keep pushing stuff back. If we don't make noise and bring attention to it, I'm not big on marching and
Now the riot
this and
stuff and
that. Look,
doing.
you can march. What are we marching for?
Yeah.
For what? Well, what are we marching for?
Well, so you don't believe
not
that,
that
like,
appeal
the
to me.
marches, Selma's a new movie, the March on Washington back in the day, you don't believe those did any help?
It's made history, which is awesome. I get it. We taking this stand, but what is it really doing?
At the end of the day, what is it saying?
It's
what
not.
Are we
we're
saying
not
as
doing
people?
any. We're not doing it. What we need to do is get in these offices.
But it's so hard for us to vote each other in.
Because people refuse to go vote.
Not only do we refuse to go vote, we're too busy knocking each other as a people.
Well, right. And
We as African Americans see another African American running office as a pimp or someone trying to get over on us and get our vote because we're black. Or then we listen to the other races who say they only voted for him because he's black. Because that's what they say about Obama. So what? He's first black president. So what if the only reason we voted for him was because he's black? But me, for one, I did my research. I looked at Romney, Clinton, Obama, and all the other people Huckabee and whoever else was up there. And I looked across, and before they were running for office, they were voting different. But once they all began running for office, they all began voting alike for the same things. So if he's been voting the same way the entire time, now everybody else is joining on board with him, he ain't nothing but crap. I mean, they're not nothing but crap.
Well, I'm gonna speak for myself, and the only reason why I voted for Obama is because he is black. We as black people have never been given anything in this
Agreed.
entire world, so why not give him that vote?
Agree.
So I feel that, to me, that was his one good strike. 2, he's a male. Second strike, and I feel that why we've had however many presidents before him who yucked up the office. So why not give this one black man a try and see what he can do differently? That's my personal opinion on that.
But as far as Obama is concerned with the, I will never call it the justice system. I call it the injustice system because it's just that.
Injustice when it comes to African Americans.
He's not doing anything. He's
Well-
not doing anything. And I know one of y'all are probably about to say it's over his head, which we all know that he's the puppet. But even like with the Ferguson situation, I just feel that something more can be done, especially with these kids. The bill should have been passed a long time ago with these juvenile lifers, which 2 years ago they actually went ahead and passed what they passed. But the states are stifled. Pennsylvania has made United States history of being the state that has the most juvenile lifers, the most lifers, and the most people on death row.
Wow.
Why?
Because
Black
Texas
people
kills
at
them
that.
quick.
Texas does kill them quick.
Yeah.
Too quick sometimes.
That's why Pennsylvania passed Texas. For real.
And it's so much corruption going on in that state. But the unveiling is coming off of them one by one. We had last year the 2 judges that went to prison exchanging kids for cash. They were taking our kids for something simple like truancy. Or truancy or what's the or maybe stealing candy out of Rite Aid or something like that.
Petty theft, truancy, and curfew or something like that.
And it's what they were sentencing them was a bit extreme.
Crazy,
but they were selling them to private prisons.
Wow.
Okay, so can I say something?
Those judges just got sentenced last year. One got 28 years and the other one got, I think, 18.
But then when those type of people get in trouble and they get sentenced and sent into prison, they get put in a whole different area. They not in there with the general population with everybody else.
They shouldn't be because they're gonna get murked quicker.
Well, after probably like the first year or 2, they will be separated. After that, they'll be in general population.
Unless they pay for their freedom.
Unless
and it's
like
not really freedom. They're paying
unless
for
it's a suicide
segregation
watch or whatever. But I mean, there's cops, corrupt cops that's in Philly right now that's incarcerated, and they're out in
Jane Pop.
One of them recently got beat up pretty bad.
That's why
but you put half of them brothers in there that you.
Because half of them, because them cops in Philly was stealing people's dope and taking their money and robbing them and doing all this stuff.
I mean, it's just so much stuff going on there. The laws have to change. Tim Wolf now, he's a Democrat there. He's the governor there now, the governor or the senator, and he's actually just put a halt on death row. The death from them executing.
Because Illinois has too.
Right, and he's been on top of his game. So I'm like, okay, well maybe he's honoring his word because they just say whatever they want to say to get in office, just to get in office. But he's been really good as far as the whole prison pipeline system go. You know, it's a big business.
So
it's a big
Monique,
business.
as far as fighting these cases and getting involved with the families and the backgrounds and the histories and searching and finding, how does this affect you emotionally? Do you get emotionally tied into this? If they don't win their case, do you cry and it affects your sleep? And
I
things
do.
like
I'm
that?
getting emotional now. I really do because I get attached to their mothers, and they're not calling the lawyers. They're calling me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know. I just recently got approved to see Travion Blount. And you know, he's all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
I saw his support page, his petition. I got almost 15,000 signatures.
$14.98.
We went to the governor's
And what
office.
is his support page?
Fight for Travion Blount.
Okay.
And I had a meeting with. We went up to the
Mhm,
governor's
the governor.
office and everything. We're waiting on the word back to see if they're going to give him this pardon, his conditional pardon. And I write him, and he's so appreciative. And he had gotten 6 life sentences in 118 years.
That is crazy.
For stealing $60.
Yeah.
As a young 14-year-old boy, 2 adults.
No weapon.
Coerced with him. It was a weapon.
No, he didn't have a weapon.
And nobody got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody, nothing. And for you to, how do you sleep at night? For you
So
to
the
sentence
other
this
two
child.
people that was with him, what did they get?
They went to trial. One is coming home this year. One got 10 years. He'll be home September. The other one will be home next spring, I think. They didn't take it to trial. But what people have to understand, I read the newspapers, I look at the comments. What people need to understand, and I need everybody out in the world to understand, this was a child. He didn't know anything about any charges. He didn't know anything about a breakdown. His mother, nobody, they didn't know. So he was thinking, as a child, he'd probably go to juvie for a little while and come home.
Yeah.
When he got sentenced, he turned around and looked at his mother and said, "Mom, what happened?"
Yeah.
She cried. What can she say? There's nothing they can do. He didn't get sent to juvie. He got sent to big boys prison, 9 hours away from here.
Wow.
So that's a terrible situation.
And he's strong though.
And I hate to bring a different situation into it, but what do you think about the Mike Brown situation? We did say something about Ferguson, something slight, but Mike Brown wasn't innocent. Meaning he wasn't a 14-year-old child out here not knowing any better. You know, even at 14 they know a little bit better, but at 18 they know a lot more better than a 14-year-old. So he did rob the store. He didn't deserve to die, I agree, but he did rob the store, and his friend states he was a little aggressive. So what about that situation?
Well, when it comes to things like that, even if he was wrong, he didn't deserve to die. Our kids need guidance and direction.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom line of the bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
Our kids are a product of their environment.
Yes.
I'm from Brooklyn, New York, East New York, Brooklyn, raised in Brookline projects.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell people all the time, especially Caucasian people, until you are in our shoes, you really don't have nothing to say.
Yeah.
When you're black, then come talk to me. And that's not going to happen.
No.
So, I mean, like, it is what it is. I'm not saying that he was right. That young man, did not deserve to die. But we were the male figures in his life, so he wouldn't have done that.
Well,
Still some cigars.
He had a father figure in his life that lived in the same household with him.
His stepfather.
His stepfather.
The peer pressure.
Well,
People do, the young kids do give into peer pressure, and they give into that,
But he
that
seemed to
taunting
be
and
the
stuff.
leader.
exactly.
Yeah.
However,
The person that was with him
I'm
didn't follow his
I'm
lead.
playing-
He didn't follow
right.
his lead that day.
However,
I'm
he
just
might
playing
have been
devil's
on
advocate.
bully mode, or it might have appeared that he was on bully mode. But that was just 3 seconds of what we seen.
Yeah.
We don't know
Agreed.
what his circle is like. We don't know who he run with. We don't, where that happened at is the hood.
Yeah.
So we can hang out. She could be the feisty one when we go out.
Which she is.
She's the feisty
She
one
can
when we
be-
stay in.
She could be the feisty one when we go out. Maybe she don't like something and she's about to get into a fight. What we gonna do? We gonna leave her hanging?
I might fight first.
We're not gonna leave her hanging.
No.
It's me, y'all can't leave
However,
hanging.
Yeah.
However, once everything's all said and done, she's gonna get checked. It's our duty to check her and let her know.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna let her know I'm not going back out with you until you get right.
So where do that stand as far as a parent aspect comes from? Do you have any? You do have.
I have a 23-year-old son.
Okay, so we all have sons
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
right here.
Mm-hmm.
And how is it that we could guide our sons in the right direction and keep them away from peer pressure and from everybody is doing this, so I want to do it as well?
I have an idea about that.
I mean,
Or
we can't be with our kids
We can't-
24 hours a day. They're gonna, things that all we can do is just be in their ear, and just talk to them, and reinforce positive men around them.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we really can do, because at the end of the day, if they really want to do them, you could be at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Agree.
I know somebody that's sitting in prison right now. Good guy, went to school and everything, and his cousin shot and killed somebody, and he was in the car, and he didn't even know that was going down. He's in prison right now, serving a life sentence.
Yeah.
And I tell my son that if you get in the car with your boys,
Know
Whatever.
what's
check
going
that
on.
car.
Yes.
Know what's
I
going
don't
on.
care
They
who's
do.
sweet and who's nice and who's. You check that car and see what's going on, because all of y'all gonna go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's gonna go to jail. So we can talk to them till we're blue in the face.
But they're gonna do what they want to do at the end of the day.
Sometimes they
most of the
will
time.
do what they want to do, but then what we saying is in their head.
It is in
It's
their
in their
heads.
head.
But what about the school, the education? In the education system, first off, majority of our families, and then we're going to break from this subject, majority of our families are single mothers, single mom families in the African American community. They go to school and they have a bunch of female teachers.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even have male gym teachers. So all of this, so either our boys are running around like the prince and elite, or them other little guys that are doing the little suicide bomb drops with their weave better than mine could ever be, or they're too tough to prove themselves, they're joining gangs, or doing all this negative stuff. And even though we're in their ear, we're in their lives, they're being drawn into this gangster this and this talk that and this walk that, sagging their pants down below their behind, and the disrespect, and we make them look uncool. So how do we combat all of our men, and I won't say all, majority of our young men not having older men in their lives?
I want to say something to that, because I have a son and he is 11.
Mm-hmm.
I put fear in my son.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna keep it real.
And at
because-
11, that's great. But
but
at 21,
at 21, at
But
11,
they're already
at
molded
12,
by
and
then.
whatever, that fear is still in them.
That's
and,
not true.
And yes, it is.
No, it's
because
not.
I don't let up. And I put my foot on his neck. There is no letting
child
up. And
abuse
maybe
on tape.
I'm
No
child
child
abuse.
abuse on tape.
No child abuse. But
But
there is no
it's
letting
some
up, but at
kids.
the same time, he knows that I love him. But I also let him know the consequences and the repercussions of your actions. And I also teach him that you have to have foresight. You just because these kids, which are bullying you,
Agreed.
and you want to be with them and in the in crowd, at the end of the day, these kids might not be what's best for you.
Mm-hmm.
At the he wanna be the next Derrick Rose. Well, in order for you to be the next Derrick Rose, you have to follow A, B, and C. And what those boys are doing right now, that's not in A, B, and C. I feel that we can't go off of what our parents was. Do as I say and not as I do.
Agree.
We need to say why we're doing this, why is it beneficial, and if you don't, then this is what's going to happen.
And
because
then a
these
lot of
kids
them-
nowadays are so much smarter than
They
the way
are.
we were, because we
Agreed.
didn't think. When our parents told us not to do something, we didn't think, well, why we can't do it. We just said, okay. And
Well, I
that's
did.
it.
I stayed in trouble for thinking outside of
See, but-
what I was told.
Sometimes we have those children who have those hard heads. You know how your mama say a hard head make a soft
ass.
but it's only so much you can beat that ass. You know what I mean? And I have a 22-year-old who is learning things the hard way.
And you're going to
And-
have to let them.
And I have. And I kept stern on him growing up. He was scared to death of me. His teachers could say, "I'm gonna call your mama," and he'd be like, "Okay, don't call my mama." But when he got to 14, I don't know. There was a switch.
Puberty.
There was a switch. There was a switch in that butt.
That's the tricky age. That's the tricky
puberty.
age. And what a lot of black mothers do, whether you agree or not, we talk at our kids and we don't talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big issue for African, I don't like African American, for black women. That's a really big issue that we doing a lot of this, and we're not talking to them. Sometimes we need to listen to understand and not just listen to reply.
Yes.
And that's a big part. I probably beat my son's ass about 2 or 3 times in his whole life. Because we've had that great communication. And the issue is we have to mold them. A child's personality is set in by the time they're 8 years old.
Agreed.
From the time they're babies up until 8 years old, we have to mold them, and we can't teach them how to be men.
No.
We can't.
We just can't do it.
We can do our best of what we think they should
We
do as
can
men.
raise them to the best of our ability, but I don't have a penis.
Right. So
So-
on that note, I would like to go on and to say, how is it that we can't teach men to be men, but we listen to men on how to be women?
Oh,
Steve.
Steve Harvey.
Don't get me started on Steve Harvey.
So
I love Steve Harvey.
I know you do. And on a lighter note, because we don't have that much time, I just want, and thank you for saying what you said. We don't have a
Yes.
penis and we cannot teach our men to be men, but how is it that a man with a penis can tell a woman how to be a woman?
Well, Steve Harvey thinks he can do that, and that's cute. However, I'm with you on that. I don't touch and agree with a lot that he says. I respect this beautiful black man, his come up, everything that he's doing.
I respect his hustle.
I respect his hustle too. I'm not even
I
mad
do
at
too,
it.
yes.
I'm not mad at
Not
that.
at all.
But go ahead.
But I don't care about this 90-day rule.
Me neither.
So what are you gonna do? And I open up I have a book coming out called Think Like the Original Woman.
And
Wear
when
Your
is it
Crown.
coming out?
It'll be out in August.
All
This
right.
August.
This August.
Okay.
Yes,
Second
ma'am.
book.
Think
And
Like the Original Woman by
and-
Monique.
the Think Like an Original Woman is when I thought about it when that dumb movie came out, because this whole 90-day rule to me is crazy. So what you gonna give up some ass on the 91st day? I'm just totally confused.
Yeah.
A dude will wait around to
But
get
get
the
it-
cookies.
Yes.
And
They
then he
will.
can still be
We go-
gone.
Yep.
You got to get to know him. And I get all of that. I get all of that. However, some people could put on a good front just to get the cookies.
Smoke
They could
screen.
put on a good front.
But
for a whole
what
year.
killed
long
me
time.
about that whole situation was how Facebook went crazy when that movie went out, and I'm seeing women. Oh, I'm doing this 90-day rule. I'm doing that and
Yes.
doing this.
Yes.
No.
Well,
Why?
I agree. I don't think there should be a 90-day rule. But I do believe, personally, you should make a rule about what flags cannot be lit off
Absolutely.
before
Absolutely.
you
Do
spread your
whatever.
legs
Let me
to
tell-
some
If you
man.
was with someone before this person that you're dating right now, and you found out the 30-day rule didn't work, and it didn't work in your favor for whatever reason, not because he was crazy, not because he didn't have a job, not because he stayed with his mother,
It
but
just
for
didn't
other
work.
reasons, okay, then for the next person, make up your own rule. But why do you have to have a certain... Everybody is doing a 90-day rule, so nobody is going around getting none. I'm just saying. I'm just not
And you know,
understanding.
Yes.
I'm a realist. And if you're attracted to somebody, you're attracted to somebody. I'm not sitting up there saying, cock your legs open and come get me.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, like, really, really think about everything that was said pertaining to this 90-day rule. It's just...
It wasn't just the 90-day rule. It
It was
was
a whole bunch of
it was
stuff.
a
Well,
whole
yeah,
bunch
I
of
know it's a
stuff
whole bunch
leading
of
up
stuff,
to the
but he
90-day
was
rule.
stressing that, and that's what
90 day,
everybody
yeah.
was
That's what they
feeding
honed in
off
on.
of, and
My
that's what
thing
they
is,
hung on.
my thing
hung
is,
on to.
as a man, no man can go 90 days. Me as a woman.
Absolutely not.
Me as a woman, I cannot go 90 days. I cannot. And what I'm saying
I
is,
will not.
and I will not. That's right. If I want to give up my goodies, I'm gonna give up my goodies to whoever I damn well choose to. I'm gonna pick you, and whoever else. But the other stuff that went along with it, and what I didn't understand is we've had women sitting on the edge of their seats, ready for every word, every vowel, every syllable that came out of his mouth. And once again, how can this man, who's been married 3 times, 1,
Right,
2, 3, count 'em.
Third time's a charm.
That's what I'm saying.
Not
I'm
in
not
this case.
taking advice from nobody that's been married 3-4 zillion times. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not.
I don't know.
And
but
I'm not saying-
you
and
don't
me
think they
personally-
learned something in those
You might
different
have-
I mean,
marriages?
I would hope that he did learn something. But what he learned is not for everyone. What
No.
he learned is for him and his.
Agreed.
It's not for every woman. So what
But-
he's doing is taking his experience that he learned from 3 different women and applying it to every woman on the planet.
But no, I don't believe that's what he's doing because he was married 3 times, but he messed and dated with a lot of women. He'll tell you that. He's been
wait,
with
you
a
know,
lot
He
of
couldn't
women.
have been that
And a
because he
lot-
been married half of his life. We already know this, Chris.
Yes, but he still was on the road and a comedian
Doing
and
his
doing
thing.
Doing
things
his-
While he was married.
while he was married.
So therefore, I cannot take anything that you say seriously.
But some of the stuff he says does make sense.
Like what?
Like if a man says I'm a duck and he walks like a duck, then he
damn it,
is
he's
a
a
duck.
duck.
Stop sitting over here trying to fix somebody that don't want to be fixed.
I can
If he
agree with
say
that.
he don't want to be married, don't think anything you do is going to change that.
I definitely can agree. I definitely can agree.
And
with
a
that.
lot of times we hear it from each other or another woman, but we don't hear it. We hear it from our fathers, but we don't listen. But if we hear it from
Well,
this
that's-
comedian, everybody listening to him.
Well, that just goes back to what we discussed off air earlier, the whole not loving yourself.
Agree.
Because nobody, not Steve Harvey, not nobody's going to tell me anything about whatever. You have to really have self-love.
Yes.
Because none of that game is going to, all of the game that the guys shoot, everything that they're saying is not going to affect you. And you're going to have that superwoman block. You're going to have that superwoman block because you're not going to go for it because you know you have that self-love. You've done tapped into who you are. And then 2 + 2 is going to make sense to you. It equals 4.
Sooner
That's
or later.
And he has his own dating site.
I do agree with him with the whole a daughter needs their father.
Yes.
That definitely.
Yes. Ray Charles can see
1000%.
that. He
But a
also
lot
has
of
his
women
own-
don't see it because they stick around and they'll say, I don't need a man. Me and my
I hate
kids
that.
are fine.
Yeah,
I don't like
and
that.
that is not true. We do
We need
men.
our black men.
We need the
We
men.
need our men.
Because girls are out here searching for love with their pocketbook and their heart. I was gonna say coochie cat, that's what my grandma used to call
said
it.
it.
But I'm just saying I caught myself. But with their pocketbook and they're looking for love in the wrong places, in the wrong ways, and they run around and they turn into the ratchets. They turn into the ratchets or the thoughts and all these other names.
T-box.
The T-box too. And
I don't like those names.
Me neither.
me either.
These
but
are made up
this is what-
names.
this
Why
is-
are
that-
we giving
some-
these
no.
words relevance?
Some
That
man
is what
made
the-
it up, and the
Or
girls
some of them
are
girls,
living up to
yeah, or
it.
some of them girls
They're
gave them
excited to live up
No,
to
they're
it.
not living up to an imaginary name.
But they
Them
are.
girls are giving
They
them to
making
themselves. They
videos
are
to
labeling
themselves.
themselves
I'm
this
that. And then they name the drink thought juice, and these are thought shoes, and this is thought jeans, and so on and so forth. So whether we agree with the name, these little girls, our little children, are living up to it. They're laughing and joking, and they're making it a
that's the problem.
reality.
I mean, like, we could talk about this all night just to die this down and close it out. That's where we come in at. I teach classes. I teach goddess classes.
Come on, goddess, teach
all
these
the
classes.
time
Come
to
on.
these girls and the women. I'm grabbing the mothers now because it starts from them.
Yeah.
And it's us. Grab them. If you need me to talk to your son or your daughter,
Bring them in.
bring them to me. Because they're going to listen to me before they listen to you.
Yes.
Agree.
They
Definitely.
are.
Yeah, why
That's-
is that? They listen to
That's
us
just
say.
how it is.
It's always been
I gave
that
my
way.
son the same advice his friend Tommy gave him recently. I said, didn't I just tell you the same thing earlier that day?
It's like, oh, Mom, you didn't say it like that.
He's like, well, Mom, boy, get out of here. So, we're accountable for each other.
Yes.
I am my brother's keeper.
I am my sister's keeper.
And no, Black people have to stop living in the moment.
Yes.
This sounds good right now on this couch, but are we going to keep this momentum up after? Because
Well,
I keep it up.
I keep it up too.
I keep it up too.
I keep it up too.
Definitely.
Whether you're out at the bank, whether it's holding the door for someone, whether it's saying thank you, whether it's complimenting another sister on what she's wearing, because you know us as Black women, we don't do that.
do it.
You know, we're hating on what they have. Why, I don't know, but we definitely do need to keep this up, as well as uplift each other and Black men. I mean, we should not be okay with children walking by us with their pants down to their knees and not saying anything.
My God,
First of all, I'm not afraid of no child.
Me either.
So I wish a kid would try to do something to me. And I'm telling you, as a correct. Remember when your neighbor, then the
Correct.
neighbor's neighbor,
Yes.
and then the neighbor down the block would come and say, "Well, I
snatch you up.
heard."
And then your mama be at the house waiting on you, cause you down there talking crazy. Next thing you know, your mama
neighbor.
down there, cause the neighbor didn't call them.
And that's where we need to get back to. Nowadays, mothers is worried about, well, why you put your hands on my child?
Or
Because
not
they
even their
deserve it.
hands.
Did you ever think
Why
that
you
your
say
child,
something to my child?
Right. Did you ever think that your child did something to warrant this?
We
I'm not
we don't intervene.
I'm not
as we
gonna
should.
sit there and let a
Or we
child
don't let
disrespect me or
others.
disrespect anyone
Right.
else.
But these mothers are children themselves, so like it's children raising children. I mean, I had my son when I was 20, and it's like it's just so different from back then,
It is.
opposed to now.
Yeah.
So we're just accountable for each other, and we have to raise each other, help raise. It takes a village, as they
Yes.
say. It takes
And
a
when is your
village.
book coming out again?
In August.
And the name?
Think Like the Original Woman, Wear Your Crown.
And are you
Alright.
going to be doing any book
Book
signings where it's going to be
Yes,
permanent
I'm
sign?
going to be doing my own little book tour, like I did for my first book, and I'll be doing lectures with the book, along with it, and I just hope it reaches people as it should.
How can people reach you, Monique?
I can be reached on my Facebook, Monique Yesenia, MoniqueYesenia, or you can email me at moniqueyesenia@gmail.com.
And I can be reached at.
Why would they be reaching you?
Just
They want her to
say
be-
hi. Hello.
What
I'm
about
Divalicious.
your
She said
Fly
Divalicious.
Girls Boutique?
Yes, for Fly Girls Boutique as well. But if you have a discussion that you would like to be talked about, I can be reached at Nikia, Nikya Floyd, FLOYD @gmail.com.
I can be reached at Christine, CHRISTINE .Williams, WLMS 91 @gmail.com. And we also
Oh no, I'm not giving my email address out.
Oh, okay.
I got y'all.
All
Y'all
right.
my sisters.
And we have a Twitter page, Table Talk, at Twitter, and we have a Facebook page, Table Talk, on Facebook. Monique, it was great having you. Thank you,
ladies.
Sister
Thank you
Queen
so
Goddess.
much.
Yes,
Thank you so
ma'am.
much. And if you guys need any legal advice or
Yeah, I'm gonna keep you in my Rolodex because you know I'm always getting locked up.
contact me and any life coaching. I'm a certified life coach
Oh,
as well.
yes.
I need some of that in
Oh,
my
you
life.
need to give them.
I got-
you need some
I got some-
business cards.
I know, because I got some people that I need to swing your way. I'll join them just so we can all be there together.
We got Ayana in the flesh.
That's right. We don't need no more.
They call me the Mopra.
No more.
It's all love. Like as you stated, I am my sister's keeper, and we're accountable for each other. And I just want to see my people rise.
Yes, ma'am.
And hopefully you guys will tune in for our next segment,
Yes.
which is We don't know what
Coming
that's
soon.
going to be about.
Coming
But
But it's
soon.
gonna be a good one. You
Yes,
best
it
believe
is going
that.
to be a good one.
It's going to be with Cocoa Butter. She used to be on 95.7 R&B, and now she's doing her own entrepreneurship, and we are looking forward to our sit down with her. Thank you all for tuning in. We can't wait to get with you all later. Y'all ready for some wine?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey.
I need 3 of them. Give me 3.
Well, then we don't need no wine. We need straight tequila.
1800 it is.
That's well. So what do you think?
Good. Did we not